Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in for episode 2 of Trapped Souls. I am the author of a book called Trapped Souls, A Story of Healing that is available on Amazon, which is a true story of a ghost clearing I did at the Lake County Historical Museum in Tavares, Florida in 2017. And I published the book in 2018, and it's a story about a whole group of souls that were trapped at this historical museum. It was a museum that was, at one time, was the sheriff's office and the jail in Lake County. And so that is available on Amazon, and it's by me, Andrea Klim. You can also find it on my website, turntothestars.com. But today I want to talk about the second soul that I was able to help with their transition. And I didn't know, I was sleeping one night and I saw in my dream a woman in a bed, and it was a brass bed, and it was like with very high frame, and all the sheets were white, and there was a woman laying in the bed, a young woman, and she had very black hair, dark skin. I couldn't really make out her features, but she was dressed in like a white nightgown. And I saw her sit up and scream, just a blood-curdling scream. And it was so heart-wrenching that it woke me up out of a sound sleep. And I didn't know who this was. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to do a meditation. And this was prior to me learning shamanic healing, the shamanic healing arts. And so I did a meditation, and in the meditation, I saw the young woman, and I walked over to her and I started to talk with her, and I realized that this was my ma tante Diane, who was my godmother, my mother's sister. And she was stuck in a place where she had a difficult experience when she was younger. She had been married and had 2 young children, 2 daughters, my cousins Kim and Sherry, and she had her sister, my ma tante Rita, came to live with her. And ma tante in French means aunt, meaning sweet aunt. And so my Aunt Rita had come to live with her, and that was her younger sister. And it happened that my ma tante Diane's husband, at the time his name was Al, had an affair with my ma tante Rita, and she got pregnant, and this was a very, very difficult thing, and it really haunted my aunt, and so much so that it had her trapped, that she didn't know really how to move on from it. It held her captive. And, we all think that, that we only get trapped, or maybe it's just me, but I know that not only do souls get trapped when they pass away, meaning when they die, when they transition, but people can also get trapped here on earth with things that we've not been able to find peace with. And I had many conversations with my ma tante Diane, because I had the same experience in my first marriage, but it wasn't with a sister, it was with a neighbor who I thought was my friend. And so I had a very, very difficult time. It was very destructive what happened. And so my ma tante Diane, maybe, getting back to her, she was stuck in this place, and it haunted her. And, I had thought that she had forgiven her husband and her sister for this, and I think she had in many ways, but inside of her, it still plagued her. And she did die of cancer, like my mother did. And it was very, very sad because she really wasn't that old, and she suffered greatly, much more than I think any of us knew. And I had many conversations, as I said, with my matron Diane. How did you forgive your sister, and how did you forgive your husband? And she said, well, it in the process of their relationships and their children, it was vital that they found some sense of peace, and so that they could relate because of their children. But in her heart, I don't think she ever found peace with it. So she was trapped. And so we talked for some time, and just like my mother, she when we're taught certain beliefs through religion, or our spiritual orientation, such as Catholic, we believe those things in our heart. And so she was trapped, as well as my mom. We were brought up Catholic, and they were Catholic. So they believe that we get punished, or that you're held accountable, or that you have to stand in front of God and admit your sins. But I truly believe that none of that happens. I believe that God is the most forgiving, and whatever that looks like to you, I mean, it's important that we believe in something. And so she believed that, that she did something that caused this to happen. So we talked about this, and she agreed that, that she understood that after we talked, that this was really not the place that she wanted to stay. And so I helped her as well, like my mother, to move on to heaven. And then I came back, and she died of cancer, as I said before, and it was very difficult to know that she was suffering so. So, the things that would happen to us in our lives trap us, and they hold us back from being healthy. They hold us back from living our life to its fullest. And today is April 29th, and I'm a little bit all over the place with this whole story, but the moon is in Sagittarius. It's a mutable sign, so it does sort of invoke or influence us to express the truth. And I thought that this story would be one that would help many people, because in my work of 23 years of us, working with people very, very, with very sensitive areas in their life, it's vitally important that we understand that what we believe in shapes us. And, as we grow up and we move on with our lives, we go on search for the truth. And, I did the same thing. And so I discovered that the Catholic religion was a beautiful religion, but it wasn't for me. And I discovered that what they taught me was not what I believed in and what I knew to be true, based upon my education and the things that I'd learned. So now I'm a very spiritual person. I love to hear about other people's beliefs and what shapes them and why that is their belief. But for me, I know that my truth is that if I want to talk to God, or if I want to talk to my spirit guides, or I want to talk to my angels, I go direct. I don't need a priest to confess my sins to, as they call it. And so I wanted to share that story with you, because with so many people, I've worked with thousands and thousands and thousands of people all across the world, and I'm very honored that they've chosen me to be that person to assist them on their life's journey. And so it's vitally important that we, in our hearts, understand and realize the foundation of our beliefs, where they come from. Are they supported by our hearts? Are we, is this something that really speaks to us? And as I said before, trapped souls, people get trapped for different reasons. So when we pass on, if there's some type of regret that we have, if there's some type of bitterness that we harbor, if there's something that was traumatic, there's all different reasons or of why a soul gets trapped. So I want to share these stories with you because I think that they will help people to understand that how very important it is for us to find some sense of peace in our hearts with experiences that we've had in the past, with the bitter feelings or the things that we harbor. And forgiveness is vitally important for the other person, but also mainly for ourselves, because otherwise we carry this on our shoulders and it becomes a weight and it makes us sick inside. We know through spiritual practices that, and I know with my work, that when you have an experience that you have not found peace with, we store it like a lockbox in our body. And our body is the end conduit of all experiences. And so if you're not finding peace with something, it's really important to not run and hide from it and just keep it locked away, because eventually that box is going to blow up and it's going to end up with that you experience some type of physical ailment or dis-ease. So what I want to share with you today is, because the moon is in Sagittarius, and because we are on the waning side of that full moon in Scorpio, I believe it's vitally important that we get to the truth of matters and hold that and embrace it. And if there's something that we have unease with in our life, it's really important that we research it. With astrology, we can we can look at your birth chart. We can identify all your past lives. But it starts with this life, because this is the life that you're here on this earth with and experiencing at this time. So we can look at the exact age unfolding of important life events. And then we can look back beyond that, and beyond that, and beyond that, till we find the root of that experience. And I can identify that with astrology with the exact month and year in most cases. And that is a very comprehensive reading. And then most times I will suggest to do some past life therapy with that. And I use a shamanic technique for past life regression. And it is considered a type of surgery to the soul. And so it's very much, you have to treat it very much like you have physical surgery. I'm actually doing that this afternoon with one of my clients. But before I go, I want to explain to you, I want to share with you some information about the archangel who's associated with the moon in Sagittarius, and it's at, I believe, at 15 or 16 degrees right now in the constellation of Sagittarius. And so the angel that's connected with Sagittarius is Archangel Raphael. And he brings a beautiful and gentle healing to all those who ask. And his name means God heals. And he assists all healers, including students of all healing professions, researchers, holistic practitioners, veterinarians, Reiki, and massage therapists and doctors. Anyone who asks for healing can invoke his powerful energy to help heal themselves, a client, a loved one, or a pet by simply saying, Archangel Raphael, please surround me with your healing emerald green light, and then envision and feel a heavenly blanket of loving energy surrounding and enfolding your entire body. Visualize it moving slowly and thoroughly through every cell in your body, starting at the top of your head and moving down to your toes. This healing light will cleanse away any blocks or dark areas in your chakras and meridians, so be sure to see and feel it working through your energetic body as well. He will also heal any thoughts of lack if you maintain the intention to increase your awareness to his whispering voice as he helps you remember your true, loving, natural state of peace, grace, and abundance. Archangel Raphael works consistently with Archangel Michael to help remove and heal etheric attachments we develop among families, friends, co-workers, and even specific locations. These attachments, called cords, are often draining, toxic, and sometimes painful to our hearts, minds, and bodies. If you've been experiencing fatigue, anger, anxiety, muscle aches, or inner tension, or if you've had an uncomfortable encounter with someone, ask both of these powerful archangels, Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, to cut those cords in exchange for inner peace and the remembrance of love. Archangel Raphael also assists travelers in having a peaceful journey, making sure everything runs smoothly from airport departures to luggage retrieval. If you are out driving your car and notice that your fuel is low, ask him to help you arrive safely and without issue at the next gas station. He's always energy. He's always present. And there's certain crystals that you can use that bring his energy to you. And he's very connected, his energy, with citrine, imperial topaz, or amber. And you could put those in your pocket, you could put them beside your bed, you could put them in your pocketbook, put them in your car, wherever you feel guided to put them. And carry them as a reminder of the loving essence, and it'll enhance your abilities to clearly receive divine guidance. So I want to say thank you for tuning in, listening to episode 2 of Trapped Souls. And if you're interested in further information or would like some guidance through the work that I do, you can reach me at turntothestars.com. And there's all kinds of information about me on there. You can look at the menu bar and the different types of readings I offer and the ghost clearings that I do. I think to date I've done at least 60 of them that I can remember. But I'm going to keep coming back with new episodes of Trapped Souls, because I think that at this time on Earth, with all the energy that we are experiencing and all the, we're in this time that we're moving through what I call a peduncle. A peduncle is a very narrow passage in time. And we're moving through that as we enter into the age of Aquarius. And it's very restricting and it's very limiting. And it's very easy to become fearful when you feel trapped. And fear and anger, resentment, trauma. There's so many different reasons that a soul gets trapped. And it's not only when you die or you pass away. That happens, it starts here. And so with where we're at in our evolution on this planet, it's vitally important that we pay attention to our bodies. If you've got illness in your body, that's a result spiritually of something you've stored away, packed away, don't want to look at, don't want to acknowledge. So it's vitally important that you find peace with that, whatever it is that you're harboring or holding on to without even knowing it. Most of the times, none of us know that because we're told to be happy. Just make, fake it till you make it. And, that works only for a short time. And so I would, there was something I learned from my daughter. She was a Latin major. She took 5 years of Latin. And she told me this phrase, and it goes, cura ut valias, and it means take care that you be well. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with episode 3 of Trapped Souls. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you like this, the content that here, please share it with your friends. And I think that our individual stories are so important. And to have someone that will listen is a huge thing in life. You know, friends, good friends, there's no value that we can place on that relationship. So everyone, like I always say at the end of all my shows when I was on TV up north and all my YouTube videos, turn to the stars and you'll find your answers there. So take good care, and I'll see you next time.